Assalamualaikum, my name is Fikram Syarizwan bin Syahrudin. First, I would like to introduce my group member, which is Muhammad Izul Azizi bin Syahrudin, Muhammad Abdul Hafiz bin Firman, Lena bin Zakaria, and Amisham bin Ashab. My group will present about a study on automotive industry in Japan, analysis of internal and external factors affecting the company performance. Without wasting any more time, let's jump to our first topic, which is the company background. The company that we choose is Mazda, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and Mitsubishi. Mazda was found in 1920, but Toyota was found in 1937, Nissan was found in 1933, Honda was found in 1946, and Mitsubishi was found in 1870. All of them are more focused on automotive industry in Japan. The first company to penetrate the United States market is Toyota around 1960. In fact, many studies have found that as the Toyota has the highest level of manufacturing efficiency in the global automotive industry. Compared to their US counterpart, much of Japan's growth in the automotive industry can be attributed to its use of lean manufacturing rather than the mass production. Next is a problem statement. Company performance can be caused by internal and external factors, which is caused by the sale of the company, demand from customer and cargo service that company use to ship their car, or internal breakdowns such as human error and system failure. As an automotive company, the interruption of the business operation can be caused by the internal factors such as human error during operation and external factors such as cargo services that company use to ship their car and can affect the company performance. Therefore, it's very important to do research in order to find how significant are the firm's specific factors and macroeconomic factors affecting the company performance that faced by 5 selected automotive companies in Japan. Next is research, objective and question. For research objective, we want to see that the internal factors that may affect the profitability, to see the external factors that may affect the profitability, and to see the internal and external factors that may influence the probability. For research question, we want to see is there a connection between internal factors and profitability. Is there any connection between external factors toward profitability, and is there any connection between internal factors and external factors toward profitability? Next is a scope of study. We take our data from the automotive industry, which is Nissan Motor Company, Mazda Motor Corporation, Honda Corporation, Toyota Corporation, and Mitsubishi Corporation in Japan are included in this report. The Nissan Motor Company, Mazda Motor Corporation, Honda, Toyota Corporation, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation annual report from 2015 until 2019 was used to calculate the return of asset, which is ROA, that indicated the company performance.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Amisham bin Ashab. I will explain about the literature review. This chapter explains the literature review that was related to our project. Financial risk defined and conceptualize the financial risk. Operational risk is concerned with how things are done within this company. For the liquidity risk, it is the company's capacity to pay its loans without incurring losses. For the credit risk, it is about the potential of a creditor losing money owing to it falling of a debtor to pay back its loan. For the profitability, it is the ability of a corporation to generate income that surpasses its expenses by utilizing the resources. To put in a more simple way, it is the ability of a corporation to profit from its activities. For lastly, the last one, that is market risk, is about the danger of a financial investment losses as a result of price fluctuations that are unfavorable.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Abdul Hafiz bin Firman. My metric number is 275607. So today I'm going to presenting about the methodology. So first is about the sampling technique. The population of this research is about Japan automotive sector. From this population, we gain a few sample that are very related with automotive sector. which is 5 company: Mazda Motor Corporation, Honda Motor Corporation, Nissan Motor Corporation, Toyota Motor Corporation, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation. So next is statistic technique. Statistic technique is about on how we gain a data. For internal factor, we gain a data from the annual report of 5 automotive companies in Japan, which is Mazda, Honda, Nissan, Toyota, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation. And for external factor, we gain a data from the World Bank website. From the website, we can gain a lot of data about the macroeconomic data for every country in this world. In this research, we are focused on the Japan for 2015 until 2019. Next is a statistic package for social science SPSS. This application is a very convenient application for researchers to analyze their data. So from this application, we are using the ANTHE method and linear regression analysis. Next is data analysis. So we have a dependent variables and independent variable. For dependent variable, we are using return on asset as a variable that are very related with profitability, while for the independent variable, we have an internal variable, external variable, and internal and external variable. For internal variables, we have a current ratio, quick ratio, average collection period, debt to income, operational ratio, and operating margin. While for external variable, we have a GDP, inflation rate, interest rate, and exchange rate. For the model 3 is about the combination between internal and external. So we have a current ratio, quick ratio, average collection period, debt to income, operational ratio, operating margin, GDP, inflation rate, interest rate, and exchange rate. So next is about the finding and analysis. So I'm going to presenting about the operational risk. So for the operational risk, it is calculated by taking the average operating ratio for each firm during the last 5 years since 2015 until 2019. The ratio of operating expenditures to the net sale is known as the operational ratio. The operating ratio is a helpful measurement for assessing company fundamental activities. So according to this slide, so we can see the descriptive data. So the mean operational ratio of these 5 companies is 0.1139, and it shows that the average 11.39% of the company revenue is spent on operational expenditure, while the standard deviation of the operating ratio is 0.1760, indicating that each company operating ratio varies significantly. According to this table, we have concluded that Toyota Motor Corporation has the highest value average operation ratio with the value 24.11%, which is higher than the average operational ratio of the 5 companies. While the Honda Motor Corporation has the lowest average operating ratio among the 5 corporations at 6.46%, which is less than average number 11.39%. It demonstrates that this corporation is exceptionally efficient in managing its operation, as seen by the high operating profit. The other firm we have see here, Mazda Motor Corporation and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation have operating ratios that are lower than average value, implying that all the firms are efficient in managing their operation and making operating profit, exposing them to the lesser operational risk, while the average for Nissan Motor Corporation and Toyota Motor Corporation is the higher than the average. This indicates that both companies have the high operational risk. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Izul Azizi bin Salihuddin, and my metric number is 275543. Firstly, I will explain about liquidity risk, which is in chapter Finding and Analysis. Liquidity risk refers to the possibility that a financial or non-financial organization may not satisfy its short-term financial obligations due to an inability to readily convert a security or asset to cash without incurring a loss. Liquidity risk is quantified by calculating each company average quick ratio over the last 5 years, which is in 2015 until 2019. The descriptive data indicates that the mean for the quick ratio is 1.1175, while the standard deviation is 0.2137. The mean number implies that the companies have, which is 1.1175 times their current liabilities in liquid assets. The quick ratios of the over the 5 companies vary by 0.2137 times, which the value indicates that the quick ratio varies significantly amongst companies. Only Mazda Corporation, Nissan Motor Corporation, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation, this company have an average quick ratio greater, which is than 1.0. So this indicates that each of the 3 firms is adequately capitalized for fulfill its short-term obligations. Among these 5 logistic business evaluate, Nissan Motor Corporation, this company has the highest quick ratio, which is 1.4376 times. On the other hand, Toyota Motor Corporation has the lowest quick ratio, which is 0.9309 among the 5 firms. Compared to others, it faces a higher level of liquidity risk because it only has 0.9309 of liquid assets. Toyota Motor Corporation's quick ratio is less than 1, indicating that it has insufficient liquid assets such as cash to meet its short-term commitments as they mature. However, it has a low liquidity risk due to its high quick ratio. The next is credit risk. Credit risk may occur due to a borrower inability of or default to make required payments. The lender bears the risk, including principal and interest loss, interruption of cash flow, or higher collection expenses. Credit risk is calculated by checking the average of ACP for the last 5 years, which is in 2015 until 2019 for each firm. According to graph above, Mitsubishi Motor Corporation has the longest ACP average, which is 91.00 days, which is longer than total ACP average. It shows that Mitsubishi Motor Corporation took the longest time to recover their money out of 5 corporations during these 5 years. A longer average collection duration indicates higher credit risk. On the other side, Mazda Motor Corporation has the shortest average ACP, which is 15.91 days, which is less than the total ACP average. This rating suggests that Mazda Motor Corporation is deemed more efficient than the other corporation in collecting its money in a shorter time. The other 2 companies, which is Toyota Motor Corporation and Nissan Motor Corporation, require less than 45 days to collect their receivables, indicating that they are more efficient in utilizing credit risk than Mitsubishi Motor Corporations and Honda Motor Corporation, but less efficient than Mazda Motor Corporation. Return on asset, which is ROA, is a number that shows a company's strong financial and operational performance. A higher ROA value indicates that the company is effective in generating revenue from its assets. The overall average return on assets, ROA, of 5 companies over 5 years is 4.43%. According to descriptive statistics from 2015 until 2019, Nissan Motor Corporation has the highest average return on assets, which would be 27.82%. The figure is higher than the average of 4.43%. As a result, Nissan Motor Corporation makes more profit by fully utilizing its assets. On the other hand, Toyota Motor Corporation has the lowest average ROA, which is only 4.22%. The amount is less than the overall average return of assets, which is 4.43%, indicating that Toyota Motor Corporation is not as efficient in generating income from its assets. The next is Mazda Motor Corporation, which is 5.11%, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation 5.82% have lower ROA than the industry average, suggesting inefficiency in financial assets performance. The fact that Honda Motor Corporation has a ROA of 8.71% shows its ability to produce money by efficient utilizing costs.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. My name is Liana binti Zakaria and my match number 275541. So today I will explain about market risk. Based on the chart, it shows that the GDP for the 5 years of the Japanese company shows unstable and inconsistency, which the growth rate of 2.2% in 2000 was the highest and declined until year 2009. Next, for the inflation rate, also in unsteady but for the 5 years, which in 2006 year shows the negative, but 2 years continue its increase and slight top in 2019. Move on to the interest rate. For this company, not change significantly with range 0.1 until 0.1, which have significantly effect on a country inflation rate. Next, the amount of exchange rate is important for a company. The exchange rate for this Japanese company continued rise until year 2015 until 2009 from 120% to 132%. Okay, moving to the model summary and ANOVA. For the model summary, it is external and internal variables. Model summary shows that the R-square value is 0.565, shows a moderate prediction level. Based on the Instopedia, the Durbin-Watson figure shows that the value is 2, which has no autocorrelation. For the next is for the ANOVA tables, shows that the significant value for the alpha value more than p-value, which is 0.1. It shows that the regression model value not fit with the value of p. Based on the coefficient table, shows that the debt to income has the greatest effect with the t-value from year 2015 until 2018, which 1.510 on the profitability in comparison with the other internal and external factor. Moreover, the debt to income significant rate is 0.80, which is equal to 1, shows that the independent variables can influence the profitability. The debt to income has a significant impact on this Japanese company and shows a favorable association between the business. Okay, moving to the correlation table between independent and dependent variable. The percent correlation is used to determine the profit of the company. Based on the correlation table, the debt to income shows a negative correlation from 2015 until 2019, which indicates the amount of 0.326, which equal to 32.6% related to the low positive to the credit risk. It shows the debt to income decrease, the profitability increase, and many lenders prefer ratio of debt to income less than 36%. Following that, the average collection period ACP has a substantially negligible correlation with the profitability of size 0.260. It shows that the ACP preferable a large average collection period. It shows that the organization receive money more quickly, and for the ROA shows the negligible correlation. Lastly, for the external variable GDP, inflation rate, interest rates, and exchange rate, because of the profitability is all about the company internal process management filing, and it's considerable that internal variables have no bearing on profitability.
Next, we go to discussion and conclusion. Mazda Motor Corporation, Honda Motor Corporation, Nissan Motor Corporation, Toyota Motor Corporation, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation are all part of the Japanese automotive industry. And this study aims to evaluate profitability and its determinants. Internal variables like profitability, operational risk, and credit risk are also used, which is to ensure that the project objective is achieved. As a result, external variable including the gross domestic product, the exchange rate, the inflation were included in the analysis. As a result, also the focus of this chapter will be on the finding from chapter 4, And also this chapter explain the findings and make suggestion for further research.
So for the discussion of result, based on the correlation, the credit risk positively influence the profitability. This means when the credit risk of the company debt decreases, the profitability will increases. This shows determination between return on asset and the probability of the company. Only Mazda Motor Corporation, Nissan, and Mitsubishi Motor Corporation show an average quick ratio exceeding 1.0. Basically, this means that all the three companies are sufficiently able to meet their short-term obligation. For the coefficient analysis demonstrate that independent variables have an impact on profitability. This shows that independent variable have the greatest effect on the dependent variable. The debt to income has a significant impact on these Japanese companies. According to the result obtained, the debt income suggests a favorable association between the business and debt to the income. The last one is that because the probability is all about the company internal process management fully, he is considered the external variable have no bearing on profitability. As a result, the regression model that uses the internal factor is the same as the regression model that uses internal and external factor.
For the last one is recommendation. Based on the finding, there's no single one that shows a significant relationship with profitability. Profitability is the ability to use its capital to generate earnings that outweigh its expenses is referred to as profitability. In other words, this is an organization ability to produce revenue from its operation. However, when we look at profitability, only one company has a low average ROA, a Toyota Motor Corporation at only 4.22%, while the average ROA is 4.33%. Besides that, Nissan shows that the company has the highest average return on asset, which is 27.82%, higher than the average of the ROA, which is 4.22%. As a result, Nissan Motor Corporation makes more profit by fully utilizing its assets. In order to make more profit, all five companies must utilize their assets efficiently to make more profit. Thank you.